Okay, guys, everyone loves pepper plants, well, mostly do. But if your peppers always stay small or they flower late, they may never really produce the way you want or you expect it. But here's the truth: peppers are not hard, they're just slow at the beginning. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to grow peppers from seed step by step. And at the end, I'll give you a warm climate option to grow them outside with less indoor time. You don't need fancy gear, but peppers do need two things that most people underdo: warmth and strong light. I'm Phil Davis, and I'm going to give you what you need. The basic setup is simple: pepper seeds, a light seed starting mix instead of heavy soils, cells or cups with drainage, a tray to catch the water, grow light, or a very bright supplemental light. A heat map for germination can help, and labels are always useful. Hey, I'm a nurse. I love labels, right? Peppers need a longer runway than tomatoes, and they take a little longer to germinate, and they are slower to start at their growth. A common rule is to start peppers about 8 to 10 weeks before your expected last frost. But the bigger rule is this: if you start them too cold, you'll lose weeks of growth for germination. Fill your containers with seed, start mix, and moisten it so it feels damp like a wrung out sponge. We talk about this in many of my videos. Plant 1 or 2 seeds per cell about a quarter of an inch deep, cover lightly, and label everything. Now here's the key step: keep that tray warm. Peppers germinate best in warm conditions. If your room is cool, use a heat map. Keep the mix moist but not soggy. If you see algae, fungus, or gnats, or constantly wet soil, you're probably overwatering. As soon as the seeds sprout gizzies, I don't know, give them strong light and don't wait until they get bigger. That's how seedlings stretch and become weak. Aim for about 14 to 16 hours of light per day and keep the lights close enough so the stems stay short and thick. A small fan for a gentle airflow can also strengthen those stems. For watering, aim for steady moisture instead of a soaked soil. The bottom of the watering tray works well because it lets the roots draw the moisture from the bottom. Let the surface dry slightly between waterings. Now, peppers hate soggy roots. Once the seedlings are up, avoid constant misting. You want the roots to go downward into the soil. Light watering at the top makes the roots grow up. Once you see those true leaves, thin the seedlings by keeping the strongest plant in each cell. Snip the weaker one. Instead of pulling it out, you want to cut it right at the soil level so you don't disturb the roots of the other plant. As they grow, the peppers do not like being cramped, so you want to have a couple sets of true leaves and move them to a bigger cup or a small pot with a fresh potting mix and water them well. And one important pepper tip is to keep the stem upright while transplanting. Unlike tomatoes, peppers do not root along the buried stem the same way, so avoid planting them too deeply. Once the peppers are potted up and actively growing, keep that light feeding with gentle, balanced fertilizer at diluted strength. Steady feeding works better than heavy doses. Too much fertilizer can burn the roots and slow the growth. About 7 to 10 days before planting outside, harden off your plants. Start by placing them outside in the shade, introduce them to the morning sun, and gradually increase the amount of time they spend outdoors. Wind and sun shock are real, so hardening all plants before it's hitting them outside is really important. When the time to transplant outside, remember, peppers want warm nights. Don't rush them out into the garden too early. That's a mistake. If the nighttime temperatures are cool, keep them indoors. Choose a sunny spot during the day. Although the places with intense afternoon heats, peppers can benefit from a little bit of that protection, so you don't need to put them out into the full-blown sun. All right. If you want a simple formula for productive peppers, focus on 3 things: consistent watering, because drought stress can cause flowers to drop; warmth, because cold nights slow growth dramatically; and third, steady nutrition, where light feeding over time works better than occasionally heavy fertilizing. Always keep scouting your plants because pests are a real thing, and I'll have another video about that coming out next. If you're in a warmer climate, you could do more of the process outside, but you still need to protect your plants from intense sun and wind. One option is to start those seeds outdoors in small pots in bright shade and keep them warm and evenly moist. Then slowly introduce them to the morning sun as they get older or stronger. Direct sowing peppers can also work in warm climates, but only when the soil is truly warm. If the soil is cool, the seeds will simply sit out for sprouting. If you try direct sowing, plant extra seeds and keep the soil surface evenly moist until they sprout. Protect those seedlings from pests and thin out so you only have the strongest plants. In very hot climates, peppers can slow down during your peak summer heat. Give a morning sun with light. Afternoon shade can extend your production season. And that's what you got for your pepper seed system. I'm Phil Davis. I hope you've enjoyed some things about this video and learned a few new things. I did too, just making this video. Make sure you follow, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when new videos come out, and the next one will teach you how to manage those pepper pests. I'll see you in the next one. Like, share, subscribe. Love you guys. Happy gardening.
Most people don't need motivation, they need better information. Owning land, growing food, and becoming more self-reliant often sound complicated, mostly because they're rarely explained clearly. Ancestry Lands focuses on the practical side of independence by talking about what land ownership actually costs, what works in real backyards and small parcels. Because independence means getting freedom and security, and land just happens to do both. If you prefer planning over panic, subscribe to Ancestry Lands for information you can actually use.